I thought this afternoon I'd just have a quick chat with you about writing promo copy that sells your online programs, that sells your coaching packages, that sells your services, because so many people really do struggle with writing sales copy. So to end off Friday afternoon, I'm going to give you a few tips that you can use. So grab a pen, grab a bit of paper, and follow these steps next time you need to write promo copy. So, hi Sam, welcome. So, number one, the most important, choose what it is that you're going to promote. Which program, which service, what do you want to write the copy to promote, okay? Decide that first, because you can't write copy to promote everything in one go. You're only ever talking about one thing at a time. So, number two, write down the pain or the problem or the frustration that your service or your online program solves for your client. So, what is it that brings them to your program? I'm going to just say you. What is it that brings them to you that they want your help to overcome? What is it? Hi Carrie. So perfect timing, great. So what is it? Number one, I'd check out, make sure you know what it is you're going to promote. Number two, what is the pain or the problem or the frustration that they come to you and want to pay you to resolve? Okay, write that down. Number three, what is the solution? What is the outcome that they'll get from your program, service, whatever? What's the outcome? What's the end result that what you're selling will give them? What's the vision that they come to you with this pain or frustration or this problem, and they want to get from A to B. So we've identified A. What's B? Hi Mark. Brad Burns bow down. So what is B? What is the A in pain? B where they want to go. Okay, start and the finish. Now, here's where it gets more interesting. This is the part that makes it easy to write the sales copy. What I want you to do is to think about somebody that you know very well, that you're close to, that somebody who, it might be your best friend, it might be your husband, your wife, your children, it doesn't matter, but it's somebody who, when they are in pain or frustration, you can empathise with them. Now, you may not be able to empathise with just anybody in the world, but there's usually at least a small number of people who, Danielle, Dawn, hey, there's normally a small number of people for whom, when they come to you and they say, I've got a problem, or what, you can really understand them, you can really empathise with them, you can feel what they're feeling. If you've got somebody like that, just think about, yeah. So think about, who is that person? If Bill came to me with a problem of any description, I can empathise with him because we're close, yeah? So who's close to you who you can empathise with? So this is the bit where it gets really interesting. To write your sales copy, you are going to write to this person that you identified, whether it's your husband, your wife, your daughter, your son, your cousin, your best friend, or whoever. You are going to write a letter to this person, right? Number one, you're going to start your letter by really empathising with the pain that they have. So, e.g., you come to me because you want to get more clients and inquiries and what have you online, right? Now, if you're not getting enough clients and inquiries, if the well is dry, how does that feel? I can feel that. So I imagine that Bill came to me and said, it's just not working for me. I want to make an income. It's just not happening. What do I can feel how that feels for him. And whoever that person was that you just identified, you can feel when, hey Tina, yeah, it's so much easier. And you know what? So many people who have done this process, it's called, it's my painless promo copy process. It's so much easier. Feel what they feel and then write to them. Tell them exactly how they're feeling in your letter. You know, I get it. When you're constantly worrying about how you're going to pay the bills, when you just feel that, you know, you may be feeling desperate that it's never going to happen to you. You may be feeling guilty about every penny that you spend when you're aware that it's not coming in. You may be feeling concerned or in fear of the consequence of not getting enough clients. You might just be utterly frustrated that every single day you show up online and you do what you've been told to do, but nobody's coming to you. Feel what that feels like and then write to them and tell them exactly how it feels. The more detail that you can go into, the better this copy will be. The more you can tell them. And, you know, sometimes, for many of us, we may be working with clients who are an earlier version of ourselves, right? So, you know, I've been in this business for 7 years now. Many of my clients are where I was in, say, 2011, 12, 13. So I help them to come to where I am, and then I'll grow, and then they'll come with me, right? So it could be that you resonate with how you used to feel when you had the problem that you're solving, all right? But as much detail as you can go into with this feeling, the stronger your copy will be. The more you can explain that what they're feeling, right? So after that, now, and don't forget to. So when you're talking about this feeling, the consequences of not doing anything about it. If you don't, you know, if nothing changes, and in a year's time you're still not getting your enquiries and sales and from what you're doing online, your financial situation is going to be even worse than it is now, or you're going to have to get a job. Maybe the pain is that you worry that you're going to have to go and get a part-time job because it's not working, or throw it all in and go and get a full-time job. It's just not working. So, you know, feel that. The consequences of not dealing with it are, what's the danger of doing nothing? Alright? Then paint the picture of how it could be when they've worked with you, when they bought your program, or worked with you as you're their coach, or whatever it is that you do with them. So what's the difference? What difference will it make when you're getting lots and lots of you've built your personal brand online and you're getting clients coming to you wanting to talk to you about working together, even though you've maybe not come across them before, and you just trust because you just know from history that the inquiries and everything will come through. So you're making consistent income month. You have the freedom to be able to go off on holiday or to spend more time with the children. What does that feel like? It's really inspiring to know, and it's impactful to know the difference that you're making with your clients, because when you help your clients, you're making a difference to them. And you're not just making a difference to them, you're making a difference to people around you. So what does that feel like? Paint that picture in as much detail as you can. Really, be the artist and see every element of that picture, and then tell them about it in your letter. Alright? Then, next step, so you're writing to your friend, or your sister, or your brother, or your son, or your daughter, whatever, right? Next step, tell them why you are the person to help them, in the third person voice for now. So, the reason for this is that quite a few people struggle, or find it easier to sell somebody else than to sell themselves. So we do it this way, so you can kind of step out of yourself and pretend that you're Joe Block, and you're selling Joe Blocks. It's just somehow psychologically easier to sell all of the amazing things that Joe Blocks has done than it is to say the same thing about yourself. Alright? So you explain why Joe Blogs, who is you, is the best person to help them with this. So this is all of your credibility. Perhaps if you're in a sector that needs qualification, it's the qualification, it's your experience, it's the results you got for other clients. Why Joe Blogs and not Joanna Blogs, right? Tell your friend, because here's the other thing. When you recommend somebody to your friends, you want them to have a good fit, don't you? You want them to have a good experience. You want them to have their pain or frustration or the problem resolved. So you're going to make sure you tell them all the reasons why this person that you're recommending is right for them. You're going to give them, because you're going to sell them on the idea of working or getting in touch with Joe Blogs, right? So sell them Joe Blogs, who is you. And then introduce the program or the service and tell them what they're going to get. Don't forget, features. Everything that you sell has features. List out the features and then ask yourself, so what? So what? Ugg boots have got real sheepskin lining. So what? Because it keeps your feet warm, but it doesn't, it's not sweaty, like where nylon will sweat, so you get warm feet, but without the rotting, mouldy, sweaty inside, right? Feature, benefit. So list out your features. So what? So what? Who cares? Why do I care about that? The answer is the benefit. And then explain, tell them what you want them to do now. What do you want them to do? Do you want them to click on a link to buy online? Do you want them to email you? Do you want them to send you a private message? What do you want them to do? Tell them. Make it, So, ready to blah, 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 what you painted in your vision? Do this now. And you will find, and remember, you are only talking to your friend. You're not talking to everybody. You're only ever having a one-to-one conversation with your friend or sister or brother, whoever it is you're talking to. It's only ever, like right now, I'm having a one-to-one conversation with you. Right? No matter how many people are watching this, it's just you and I here. Right? And then it's you and I, and then it's you and I. Right? But you're only ever talking one-to-one. So don't use language like people. Don't say, hey people. There are no people. It's just me. Right? Don't say those of you or many of you. There aren't many or those, just me. Just talk to that one person. You wouldn't walk into your brother's house and say, hey, all of you, when it's just him there. So don't forget that online. Still only ever, even though you might have 100,000 people in your audience, it's still only ever one person reading at a time. You are talking and they are reading. You are writing and they are reading. They're talking and watching, yeah? So, decide what you're going to promote. Write down the pain, problem, frustration that it's going to solve. And really think about this pain in as much detail as you can. Write down the solution that you're going to offer, that your program or service offers. What's the vision, what's the picture, what's the outcome. Draw the picture. Identify somebody who is close to you, who you can resonate with, empathise with, or for many of us in this space, I've just done it, if you're in this space, like I am, do you see what I just did there for many of us, right? If you're in the same space as I am, it's possible that you're talking to somebody who is an earlier version of you, in which case you can go back and remember how you felt and what you wanted, right? So then write to them. Write to that person, empathise in as much detail as you can about the pain. Paint the picture of the difference, how their life will look afterwards, after they've done the work with you, in whatever shape or format that is. Explain why Joe Blogs is the right person to help them. Introduce your program or service, explain the features and the benefits, and then tell them what to do next. Now that's the very basics of writing sales copy, and I promise you, if you stick to those facts, stick to those steps, always, writing sales copy will be a breeze. Because let's face it, right? If you want to make an income online, if you want to attract inquiries and sales and leads and online, you've really got two ways of communicating. You're either on video like this, or you're writing. And if you're writing, if your words do not resonate with your audience, if they don't feel that you are talking to them, they'll scroll past and you won't get those inquiries and those sales that you want. So this is the easiest, most painless way to write copy, even though you aren't a copywriter. You don't need to be a copywriter not to write basic copy, to write copy using this basic process. Anybody can write copy. And I know that because so many of my clients who couldn't write copy before are now writing copy very, very, it's a breeze for them to write copy. Where historically they struggled, didn't know how. It's emotion. Your audience needs to connect with the emotion within your copy. And the way to write emotion is to imagine that you're talking to somebody who you can empathise with them. Who you can empathise with. Alright? Because if your copy doesn't make them feel anything, they will go. You want your copy to motivate them to act. To motivate them to take that step that you want them to take. Right? So there's the basic premise. And you'll be able to go away and do that and craft your basic letter. But if you do want my help, if you do want to go much deeper into these steps, then check out the Painless Promo Copy program, which is on painlesspromocopy.com. There's two levels. There's one level where you get all of the training and then access to a Facebook group where you can ask me questions. And then there's a VIP level where you can send me your first piece of copy. So you go through the process, craft your copy, and when in your mind it's ready to go live, you can email it to me. And what I do is record a video of myself talking, going through your copy and showing you where there are any gaps, identifying where you've missed out, any pains, or and I'm reading it from the mind of your ideal client, the person that you're talking to, that you want to hear you, the person that you want to hear you when you put this copy in front of them. And just the other day, one of my clients put some painless promo copy in front of their client. Their client said yes and came back and said, "It's like you were reading my mind." That's what you want your copy to do. Because when you do that, they're like, "Oh my God, you're talking to just me." That's the mark of good copy. Alright? The painlesspromocopy.com if you want my help to take this deeper and further. You'll also get help to format it into the different structures that you might need for sales copy, for website copy, for squeeze pages, different ways that you might want to use it for email, different ways that you might want to use it. There's a different structure for each of those. So I'll take you through each of the steps individually and then show you how to structure it all. And then if you do the VIP level, you get to send me your copy. Right, so we've got any questions? So, but the key is, I want more, yeah, the key is to totally feel it as much as you can. Feel the pain, put you and them into the vision and paint like you were an artist with watercolour. Paint that picture, alright? So yeah, we go deeper in Painless Promo Copy. It's painlesspromocopy.com. I'll drop the link under here as well. If you want my help, we can go much deeper. And if you want to do VIP, I will be there with you to help you make this first piece of copy the most emotional, connecting, converting. Because that's the result, isn't it? It's sales copy that converts, that actually sells. That's the point. And it will sell more when your audience can relate to it, when they feel that you are talking just to them, and when they question whether you've been earwigging in their mind at the thoughts that they've been having around the pain and frustration that they're experiencing. Alright, so good luck. Go and have a go and come back and let me know how you get on. And if you want my help to do more, I'll see you in the Painless promo copy program. Alright, bye for now.